Hey guys, what is up? It is me, Gothic Gamer, and welcome to World of Tanks. So, I've been playing War Thunder. Anyone who's watched my previous videos will know that I have War Thunder available on Xbox. Very nice occasion to do that. And when you make the jump to War Thunder, you tend to think, this guy isn't going to play World of Tanks anymore. Like, I'm going to play War Thunder now because it's a much better realistic tank game. Well, yeah, but no. See, if you fail hard at War Thunder, even it could be your fault. You could be you couldn't be doing well, or your team's just garbage. Because you can't make up your mistakes on War Thunder. You know, you get hit, you get penetrated, you get your crew knocked out. How are you going to learn from that? There's no health bars. World of Tanks, on the other hand, health bars. You can recover from your mistakes unless it's a 183mm Hesh round. Anyway, enough of that. I came back onto World of Tanks last night just to see how everything was going. And this is what I found. The fucking Type 59. For 7,500 gold, you could own this legendary machine. Now, I say legendary because it is legendary. It's as legendary as you could get. Well, that's what I thought when I bought it. Because you see, the Type 59, yeah, it's technically a Russian tank. You know, it's a Russian T-54 for God's sakes. It's basically the Chinese copy of the T-54, T-54A, I think. And when Wargaming introduced this tank, it was so damn overpowered. Like, properly overpowered. It made the Russian tanks look bad. That's how overpowered it was. And to a lesser extent, it felt like Wargaming just couldn't nerf it. They couldn't find the power to nerf this machine, because it stayed overpowered for quite a while. Even when it came onto console, you know, the Type 59 was the tank to go for if you were on the enemy team, because it's such a good tank. You didn't even have to be a good player to be good in it. Now, when I bought this tank last night, that's what I was expecting. Easier said than done, because this machine has been hit by the not by the ban hammer, but the nerf hammer, or whatever you call it. It's been hit by a nerf. And here I'm going to go across the three main factors of designing a tank. You know, or the tank triangle, as I call it, because there's 3 points: survivability, mobility, and firepower. You know, you're designing a modern tank. That's what you're looking for. I'm going to be going over these with the Type 59, and then we're going to go into a couple of games and see how this machine actually plays out. First, we have survivability. Now, the armour of the Type 59, it's you know, it's very Russian. It's very Russian. The strongest armour is at the front of the turret. So that basically screams hold down method. You know, the armor depth is 15mm, which is basically the tracks and the engine deck, all the way to the front of the turret, where it is 280mm. Like, yeah, you're not really going to hit those parts of the tank, maybe. If you're lucky, if you're aiming, yeah, you'll hit that part of the turret. But equally, you know, the turret is quite strong. And not quite so much everywhere else. I mean, yeah, rear of the turret, obviously. That's an obvious weak spot. but the hull is only the upper glacis and lower glacis of the hull is only 91 to 121 millimeters thick, and combining that with a health pool of only 1,300, it's a bit of hit and miss, because while hull down is the best choice for this machine, there are 2 weak spots present, even if you do that, and they're present in the form of cupolas, which there they are, 121 to 161 millimeters on the main cupolas, and then 31 to 51. Like, you could overmatch that easily. And right top of the cupolas, only 21 to 31. Like, you may not overmatch that, but you're going to overmatch that if you have a high penetrating gun. So, you know, while the turret armour is good, everywhere else I feel is mediocre. I mean, yeah, for a tier 7, you'd be difficult to knock out. You know, like, if you're face hugging, chances are the tier 7's just going to be either putting shots into your cupola and penetrating you at close range, or at far range, yeah, it's going to have no chance, and you're probably just going to be able to penetrate him anyway. However, for a tier 8, it would be a level playing field depending on the tank. Now, light tanks, this machine can easily knock out a light tank. It's got the firepower, and we'll move on to that soon. Medium tanks, maybe. This tank used to fill the role of a pocket heavy, so yeah, it could probably stand its own. Well, it can stand its own against a medium tank. I've played this damn machine, and I do like it, you know. Though it has its drawbacks, I do like this machine. So that pretty much covers the armour. Next, we'll move on to mobility. That's what I basically mean by survivability, is armour. I don't need to go into crew and modules, because this tank is Chinese, and you know what it's like with Chinese tanks. Their modules are so easy to damage. It's like the Japanese tanks, really. The ammo rack is also especially easy to knock out, so I would recommend wet ammo rack for that. And, you know, just for the hell of it, rammer and vents, just to make your crew even better. So, that's survivability. Now we're doing mobility. So the engine, it's fairly good, you know, I have to say. Norinco 12150L. It's got 520 horsepower. Its top forward speed is 56 kilometers an hour. That's fairly good. I personally haven't reached 56 kilometers an hour in any of the games I've played with this, but I've gotten there. You know, I've hit 46, I think. Yeah, it can still reliably hit 40 kilometers an hour. That's on my notes, because I've hit about 40 kilometers an hour going up a hill. And part of this is because of its power ratio of 14 horsepower per ton. Approximate 14.44. Thanks to its, you know, lightweight armour and its powerful engine. Fire chance is 12%. Don't think, oh, it's only 12%. It's a Chinese tank, you hit the engine, it's going to burst into flames. It's almost like that with every Japanese, it's just Asian tanks in general. You know, you hit the engines, chances are it's going to burst into flames. And with a hull rotation of 46 degrees, it's it's fairly mobile as well. You know, given the good engine and a good hull rotation of 46 degrees second. That is pretty damn good. You know, if a situation turns out worse than hoped for, it can quickly turn around and flee. You know, its fast mobility would allow it to attempt to avoid enemy fire while retreating. However, as you know, if you're showing your engine, and it gets hit, it's probably going to burst into flames. Now, move on to firepower now, because I don't do the best reviews. Also, view range 380mm, that's fairly good. Obviously it can be improved, you know, you can put a binocular telescope on, or optics, but personally I go for recon. Just saying. So, firepower. This gun has 7 degrees gun depression. Now, for a Chinese tank, that is fucking amazing. For any other tank, that's okay. You know, it can actually point its gun downwards. But take it with a pinch of salt, because it's still only 7 degrees. You know, there are tanks at tier 8 that get 10 degrees of gun depression. Hell, even 9 degrees of gun depression is better, obviously. It's still, because, you know, don't take it too kindly, because it's still not a lot, even though it is Chinese, and Chinese tanks are not depressed. They're the happiest tanks in the game. Now, the reload time on the gun, it's also not too bad. You know, it's 8.69 seconds. Not sure if that's actual base reload time, or that's the reload time that I've got on my Type 59 because of the rammer and whatever. You know, it's not Russian by any standard, because, you know, it's a Russian tank, but as soon as you hand it over to the Chinese, the Russian vodka dries up and is replaced by a Chinese bowl of rice. But I feel that its reload time of 8.69 seconds base, possibly, makes up for its lack of aiming time and penetration, which makes it's fairly good for a close range encounter. But personally, I wouldn't stick to close range encounters in this machine unless you knew you were going to be going up against tier 7s. So, I've covered the reload time. The aiming time, you know, 2.9 seconds. Could be better, but that's what you get. Accuracy 100 meters is 0.39. Once again, I've said this before, I'm going to say it again. I'm referencing an IS-7, which is 0.4 at 100 meters. This is 0.01 less. So, chances, given its 2.9 second aiming time, chances are you're just going to be poking out, waiting half a decade for it to get its aiming time down to 0.39. You're going to fire, and it's going to go into the tracks, and it's going to give you a position away. And what I mean by it's going to go into your tracks, the penetration is garbage on the standard round as far as I'm concerned. With an average penetration, well, 136 to 226 on the standard round. That's, you know, you got to reliably aim for weak spots, but given its aim time, you're going to have an accuracy at 100 meters, you're going to be having a hard time doing that, really. I mean, even the premium round has its moments. I had a game last night where I was firing the standard round and it couldn't penetrate a KV-3's upper glacis from 100 meters. Now, this is the part where I'm actually going to see that the KV-3 is actually more armoured than I thought, because it's Russian, and you know Russian tanks get buffs, get nerfs. You can't put Russian tank and nerf in the same thing, in the same sentence. Let's see, armour. 91 to 121 upper glacis. That should go straight through, but it didn't. I mean, even the premium round has its moments. You know, you fire into the first drive wheel of a bloody KV-4 and it'll bounce. Not the premium round, but the standard round. But yeah, even the premium round will have its moments, so you must reliably aim for weak spots. However, that is easier said than done, because its aiming time isn't the best, and you can find yourself constantly waiting on a lane, waiting half a decade for your gun's aiming time to finally centre down into its 0.39. You fire, you give your position away, and it goes straight into the enemy tracks. At this rate, doesn't even blow the tracks off, it just damages them. That's how I feel about the Type 59. It's such a legendary tank. It was such a legendary tank. It is still a legendary tank on PC because you can't buy it. It's more a tournament winner. You win a tournament, this is what you pretty much get. So, with that said, oh yeah, I also forgot to mention this thing gets preferential matchmaking. That's also probably one of the best things about this tank. It would be one of the worst things about the tank had it not been nerfed. Because you'd be thinking, oh, this tank's so overpowered, I could go up against tier 10s and win. Sure. Let's just go into a game. Okay, so Ruinberg War Assault. The last time I went on a Ruinberg map, it was one of those team destruction or standard battle matches. And I started at A5, worked my way across the 0 line. Where I met an IS-3 and an ISU-130. Let's see what actually going into the town would do. So it's a tier 9 game. We have the tier 9 advantage in the form of Platoon Man number 2. Actually gonna mute that fucker. He will be the sole reason why I will have a copyright strike on this video. Let's just follow this other Type 59. Now I thought we were defending given our location, but no, we are not. Cool. See that aim time? You can see how fairly garbage it actually is to a sense. There you go. You couldn't even put a shot into a nice Centurion 7-1. And then when you finally do hit something, it happens to be the Oho and it bounces. Given the Oho, I could actually maybe bounce off him. I could actually take him on. Actually face hug him, and he may not be able to actually get his gun down. There we go. Finally take a hit. Right, let's see. Is that the Minuteman? That is a Minuteman. I need that 7-1 to back up. There we go. Ah, that's why you were picking me up. Oh, that went in. Would have ended him. You cannot snapshot with this machine. Yeah, guys, you do realise there is a Centurion 7-1 up there. Oh, that was a good shot. Patience pays off, it would seem. Oh boy. I'm gonna have to start loading the premium, I think. Assuming I don't get absolutely fucked. I'm gonna have to fall back anyway. Load the gold. Take a shot in the rear, set my engine on fire. I think that IS-6 is gonna die. Yeah, IS-6 is down. What's that? It's a slapjack. The fuck? Another mercenary tank, eh? Hopefully the Tiger 1 should be able to hold. I'm not liking the looks of it though. Right. Hopefully that medium tank will spot. Oh, Jesus. Okay. It's not looking good here. 10-6. Sup. He knows I'm here. Now it's pretty much so does everyone else. Still targeted. That means someone is definitely looking at me. There we go. Thank you, Type 59. You missed, bitch. I'm not gonna be able to hit him. Slowly crawling back, but oh, god damn it. King Tiger. Hopefully moving a flank now. Oh, I haven't got time for this. Fuck you. Never underestimate mercenary tanks, because you never know what they have. I mean, yeah, they're completely garbage, story-wise, because, you know, why? See, now I've gone so completely fucking quiet. Because I'm in try-hard mode. This is the part where there is going to be... oh, there's a Borsig on full health. Just wiped him out. Can't see me, can't see me, can't see me, see me. And now I'm pretty much going to die. Three, two, one. There we go. Last tank on the team. Come on, rush me. Rush me, you fucks. Borsig's coming anyway. There we go. I thought he had the 15 centimetre, but oh well. First game of Type 59. Not my first game, but of today anyway. So that's what you get. You get 18 shots fired, 7 penetrations. And I'm not saying that because I was snapshotting most of my targets. Nah, fuck that. The aiming time is crap. I should really have swapped out something, maybe wet ammo rack. Maybe I should swap out wet ammo rack for vertical stabilizer. Let's see what Fisherman's Bay War does. Tier 9 game, T45, T95 on their team, 13, 19 and M53, 55 on ours. Oh good, we've got the tier 6 advantage, and what I mean by tier 6 advantage, I mean disadvantage. Encounter battle. Here you go, I'm just barely faster than this M46 pattern. Right. Motherland, Overhurry, T29. Obviously there's tanks over by the church, you know. Why wouldn't there be? He's all the way over there though. Here we go, Motherland, hammer. Should actually be able to take a shot at that hammer if he actually would have woke up. It didn't say I wasn't going to be spotted though. That was a Scorpion G round, so... You know, you gotta maintain a nice and friendly attitude to all the tanks. No, I'm joking, you gotta be toxic as fuck. You can notice how my voice has changed. Because, you know, the Type 59 is just a shadow of its former self right now. The tank wargaming could not nerf. Somehow us filthy console peasants actually managed to do that. Not actually saying we're filthy console peasants, because we're not. I mean, how long did it take World of Tanks PC to get the updated graphics engine? Too long. And we got it as soon as it hit Xbox One. Well, that would explain my spottiness. Aiming. Went into the tracks, but it penetrated. Oh, the Rheinmetall Scorpion. Not the Scorpion G, but just the Rheinmetall Scorpion. Personally, I would have loved to own that machine. Even more, I would have loved to own the T55A. The reward tank that's tier 9. Okay, so they're all massing in the bloody town. I should really try to assist that VK3001. While this tank doesn't exceed in long range, I do feel it's better off. I don't like brawling in any sense whatsoever. good. He actually did it. Oh, now he's hiding. Absolute shitstain. Let's see what happens. He's not there. He's over there. He's probably got his camo net up, so I'm not going to be able to see him. Dude, why don't you just knock your tree down? I always do that. There you go, have some camo. Okay. Where did that come from? Is that there? Or is it there? Don't you even fucking try it. I'm not poking out to a Scorpion G and an AT-15. Scorpion G will just hit me, blow my tracks off, and then I'll just get out DPM'd by the fucking... Oh, of course it bounces. I'll just get out DPM'd by the AT-15. Right, SU-130. Able to get a shot on him? Oh, if he backed up more. I think. Yeah, I wouldn't hit them. There's the Scorpion G. Fuck it. Balls to the wall. Oh, wait, hang on. There we go. Good shot. Game's ours and I did fuck all again. See, I'm no Unicum, you know, I'm not even a great player at World of Tanks, because, you know, I stopped playing World of Tanks and then War Thunder came out and that was almost like the final nail on the coffin. But, you know, coming back to World of Tanks every so often, it's nice, you know. World of Tanks was family to me. It's always there when I need it. Like, oh fuck War Thunder, I don't like going on Assault Tank Arcade and where 15 waves of enemies attack you and our team loses the game on wave 2. That's basically what inspired this video, were those two teams on Kursk and Japan, no not Japan, Sinai. The Kursk and Sinai maps. Goodness me, what is that platoon? It's tier 8 anyway, but you know, their platoon is better than our platoon by a substantial amount. I mean, yeah, all the light tanks are all the light tanks are tier 6, but you know. Right. Up north and be as fucking useless as possible. Side note, guys, if you're still watching this video, yes, I did just cough. But second of all, I am thinking of streaming. I'm probably gonna stream more of the tanks soon. You know, if I was bothered, I probably will. Type 59. Shit, that's TRV. I'll let the IS-3 take them all. There, you get no more help from me. There you go. That was a good shot. Ooh, that STRV's making a run for it, you cheeky shit. So are you. Oh, this isn't good. I think it's time to farm some more fucking damage. Oh, come on, gun. This is not where I want you to let me down. See, if I hit him, I would have penetrated. Come on. There we go. He died anyway. That's good. What's that? It's T-34. Good kill. Good kill. What's that? You missed? Okay. Yeah, I'll gladly take that hit, because I know that burned ammo is a repair kit. Yeah, it's gonna bounce. He's killed artillery. However, I am under the impression that I think we have won this game. Once again, with me doing fuck all. The least I can do is help get some damage out on this Tiger too. If he didn't repair his ammo rack. There we go. Pinnacle of my life. Rear of a Tiger 2 and it still bounces. Oh! Okay. Of course I'm gonna fucking say yeah, okay, you fucking owe me for that. Fucking hell. Ammo racking a Tiger 2. I'm not firing at him now, because even if I do hit him, it's going to bounce. So it's just not worth it. He's being flanked anyway. There we go. Do something anyway. Detonate a Tiger 2's ammo rack. He never repaired it. It's almost like that was his first game and he forgot to put a repair kit on. Well, that ends it for this video. 14 shots fired, 8 penetrations, 2,696 damage dealt. Pretty much only because of that Tiger 2. 1,000 damage shot. So that concludes the Type 59 for me. You know, I'm not saying that as if I'm going to sell it, because I'm not. Please, I hope you enjoyed. And if you're still watching, I did not joke around when I said that I actually might stream in the future. I've been having thoughts of I'm probably gonna start streaming World of Tanks soon, but I've got work, and maybe on my next day off, and I can remind myself, I will maybe look into streaming World of Tanks. So yeah, I will see you guys in the next one.